dropping knowledge on Grambo grows. Talking about plants and how they go. Let's go. From seeds to the cure, we always smoke pure. Nothing but good vibes up in here. We blaze the ganja, keep it fire. Grambo grows, burning desire. Learn about cultivation, step by step. You can rock out the negativity. Cannabis vibes up in here. Grambo grows, I'm something in. Grow, where am I bringing light?
Nothing but good vibes up in here. Grambo grows. Man, it's not always to have nothing. It's not easy to have nothing but good vibes up in here all the time. But on the high holidays, I must say, it's been an amazing time. It's this is the second time in the last few years. 420 is fallen on Easter. That's amazing. What did the Easter Bunny bring you guys? I want to know what you guys are smoking. Leave a comment, and I'm not just talking about all these people in chat right here. I'm talking about you watching this video today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday. What are you smoking on? Is it better than me? I want to know. Leave a comment. It helps the algorithm and it helps me decide what to grow next. Here's the thing. I'm going to start 50% monocropping. I've decided. I've got Jaren's got this oniony GMO cut. I'm a GMO nut. You know, I love that GMO. The garlic and the onion is just it's phenomenal. So I'm going to do 50% GMO in the new tent over at the Church of Cannabis Nate's place. And the other 50% of that garden, I'm just going to flip. I'm going to do something different every single run. So I'm going to have my bottom bitch, and then I'm going to have some strange on the side. So leave a comment. Let me know what you're smoking on. I got some, you guys, I guess if you guys watch the Late Night Smoke, if you've been following me for a while, you probably can guess I'm smoking on that Lemon G from the Diamond Mine. Shout out to the Diamond Mine. A lot of cool stuff coming up from the Denver crew. The Denver crew is uniting all these growers and breeders and just strain junkies all across Denver. Turpicana Kyle is leading the charge. He's going to try to unite the tribes, the 7 tribes of Colorado. He's going to unite them, and it's going to be fun. And so you might look at some diamond mines someday. I don't know. Pay attention. Weird stuff's coming. So yes, guys, 420. This has been amazing. I had an amazing day. I got a little pep in my step. You know what's weird? I got some of the Alpha Brain, the On It, St. Joe Rogan, rest in peace. Fucking, I got some of that Alpha Brain. Man, I stopped taking it for a while. And then I started taking it before the shows. And every time I take it, I kind of feel speedy. I always feel like I'm having a good episode. Maybe it's psychological. I'm a big believer in, I can't remember the thing. It doesn't work. I'm full of shit. Alpha Brain, my ass. It doesn't do nothing. The placebo effect is what I was trying to say. I'm a big believer in the placebo effect. I actually didn't fully believe in I don't believe in the indica sativa, yada yada, all that stuff of effect, as the Jug Dealers say, or spread the word of. It's the broadleaf drug variety of cannabis and the narrowleaf drug variety of cannabis. Now, how that affects you, man, it's all cannabinoids and terpenes and esters and thiols all working together in a big pastry chef entourage effect. So I was kind of I thought that when people are like, oh, this weed makes me so speedy, or this one puts me to sleep, I was like, it's placebo effect. I was in the gray market, let's call it the gray market, back at my brother Tosh was over there in that black market days. And old Tosh, he sold a lot of bud back in the day, all different strains, and nobody ever came back. He's like, oh, this strain just makes me so tired. This gives guys cleaning my house on this brick weed. No, you weren't. But that was because back in the day, there wasn't those terpene and cannabinoid profiles that we have today. So placebo effect is a thing. Good weed is a thing. And we just crossed 4 minutes and 20 seconds into this. I got a shout out to my buddy, LJ Jones. Just shout out Gramborg #1. This guy, I always gender people. That is 95% of the audience is male. I assume you're male. LJ, I don't know. Could be a chick. Could be a dude, could be a non-binary participant in the human race. I don't judge. I just love, and I love you LJ Jones, thank you so much. Dropping 20 gift subs. Man, what an amazing thing. If you guys want to join the GramBoard, you can. It's right next to the subscribe button. Subscribe if you vibe, and join if you want to come on in. I've finally some of the money that's been coming in from these memberships. I got the first ever. I always say Grambo needs a Grambo. Mo Grows, wife of our buddy Canaretto Chris. She's working with me, helping me do some stuff. She's getting me figured out on like getting my guitars fixed, getting my taxes preparation. We're way past tax day. And, she's helping me figure all that out, helping me fix my car. I need some auto body stuff. And I finally got someone to help me with some of the Grambo Grows stuff, and it is paid for out of the kindness of you guys. So thank you, all of the GramBoard members, and especially thank you, LJ Jones. That's not just an isolated incident. LJ doesn't just drop that 20 here. They're dropping 20, they're dropping 10, they're dropping 5, 1, whatever it is. It helps. And thank you guys, all you new GramBoard members. Let's celebrate. It's Easter. So I have my little baby. I have my baby all day. So I haven't really been gassing it. Oh, and then I always say LJ Jones is the Alex Ovechkin of just putting up numbers. And you know who's the Sidney Crosby? Cody Whittaker. Thank you, Cody, dropping 10 subs. And once again, that is not the first time Cody Whittaker has dropped gift subs. This dab goes out to you, LJ Jones, and Cody Whittaker. Thank you guys. I hope, and this time I'm dabbing. Leave a comment. Let me know what you were smoking. I just turned off the goddamn rig with a delicious dab in there. Oh, do I even know how to smoke herb anymore? Guys, it's been an amazing time. I'm blessed with some of the best genetics on earth. We just came back from Missouri. You guys might have noticed. Wasn't a show last week. And that's because I was on an airplane coming home from Missouri. Shout out to Kindway Farms out there in Columbia, Missouri. They brought us out. The whole Dude Grows fam, not the whole Dude Grows fam. In that extended family is JR Token, One-Eyed Cat Cannabis, High C, J Maestro. That's the extended Dude Grows family. But the Bakery Boys, Scotty, Grambo, Banner, and then of course the Dude. You can't have the Dude Grows crew without the Dude. And the four of us flew out to Missouri, and it was amazing to go out there and experience some of the strange. I won't say that I am cursed with the Colorado crumble. Here in Colorado, I know how to dry and cure my weed. My friends know how to dry and cure their weed. But there's something to be said about that Midwest herb. And eat my ass if it's not the Midwest. I keep hearing it's the South. It's the damn Midwest. I'm from Iowa. I can smell the Midwest when I'm in it. And that smelled like the Midwest. And so, yeah, guys, it was pretty freaking awesome to go over there. Shout out to all of the winners. We got to judge the strains. It was pretty freaking sick. And so, I don't know if you can see that Cujo grown by Cameron of Juana Benetics. Interesting name there. They took it down. It was legit good weed. I kept having to fight the instinct to be like, oh, you guys actually have good weed out here because, I'm a snob. I live in weed Mecca out here in Denver, Colorado. And of weed Mecca, I hang out with some of the coolest kids of the cannabis scene that have the best smells, the best flavors, the best taste, the best effects. And so, yeah, man, it's not a Denver exclusive anymore. The dank is spreading worldwide. And that is thanks to awesome content creators like Cannabis, The Dude Grow Show, Jug Dealers, Grambo Grows, The Strange Show, Matt, I Can THC, Matt, all these people are all contributing to the tapestry that is this YouTube cannabis community. And boy, what a community is. Thank you, all the DGC that came and hung out in Missouri. It legit was heartwarming. I heard a lot of cool stories. I forget this silly thing. I'm just clicking buttons over here and smoking weed. And I forget it actually affects people's lives. Shout out to Chonky Nugs out there. Shout out to Cannabis Vibe if you love the theme song. Love you too. So yeah, man, it's been an awesome freaking week. I have my share of struggles, been overcoming it, trying to get my health back in order. I feel good post surgery, and I'm doing good. Hey, aloha to you. Do you say aloha in Australia? I thought that was a Hawaii thing. I don't know nothing about thing outside of Colorado. I live in a bubble, live an amazing bubble. And so, yeah, guys, it's been an awesome time. So much good weed has passed through my fingers. This lemon G is whew, god damn. It's not just the flavor, it is the effect, man. It gets me a little speedy. Thank you, Fontucky Cannabis, throwing in the $5 donation. That goes to the pile of Grambo Needs a Grambo Fund. I'm gonna reach out to like a cool filmmaker. Like I'm gonna get on the Denver. Facebook has like all different pages for like Denver comedy, Denver filmmakers. I'm gonna go over the Denver filmmaking page, and I'm just gonna throw a Hail Mary and say, hey, I got a decent audience. I come from a visual effects editing and directing background myself. I'd love to have someone come in essentially as a paid apprentice. I can't afford to pay you a living wage, but I'm not going to give you nothing. So a paid apprentice, come in. Let's build this Grambo Grows thing. Build the smokers and growers. I like the blend of what Dude Grows Show does, and I like what a Strange Show Matt is doing. I want to be right in the middle there of that Venn diagram. Something for the smokers, something for the growers. What is up? Says Soda Can Gaming. It's funny that you should put Soda Can Gaming. Can I throw one more amazing thank you out there? All of you guys that followed my new channel, Grow Tent Gaming, over on YouTube. We need 50 subs to stream, and we have no content. And so let me put out a Hail Mary to all the GramFam and GramBorg members. Let me see if I can get us up to 50 by Tuesday. I posted yesterday, and I went to bed and I was at 35. Let's do this in real time just so I can give the appropriate thank you to you guys. I went to bed at 35 and I was like, damn, maybe by the time I wake up, we'll be at 50. And I woke up and you guys, you know what y'all did? We're at 300. Thank you guys. We have no content. I have one video up that it was just our demo with bad audio and a bunch of crap. And I was hoping to get like 40 or 50. There's 300 of you guys. So if you're into retro gaming and you're into the me talking very freely with Church of Cannabis Nate, an amazing supporter of the plant, another cannabis refugee that came in here and is just representing the Denver fam and doing well for the cannabis scene. Thank you. The stink. I appreciate it. So it's Grow Tent Gaming 420. Type that into YouTube. It will come up every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to smoke weed, talk strains, talk grow. It's called Grow Tent because I got a 5x5 sitting next to the stream. So right outside the camera is a big 5x5 tent with an HLG Scorpion Diablo in there, a bunch of new Millennium nutrients. It's going to be a good time. And so I'm going to go to Walgreens or Best Buy this Tuesday and go get some good headphones and microphones and everything. So seriously, thank you guys. If you're a member of the Grow Tent Gaming community, that's 300 subscribers. I mean, as a comedian, 300 subscribers might as well be famous. So the idea that before we even have anybody on there is that's beyond amazing. So I have vamped way long enough. Guys, I wanted to talk strains today. I'd say the number one DM that I'll get on Instagram or on the realdgc.com is like, Grambo, where can I get so-and-so strains? Like, what's the strain? Where did I hear about this? Where can I get this? And then I say the number two that I get is, thank you, Old Far. We just crossed 300, apparently. Let me refresh. Oh, you animals, 304. Thank you guys so much. So the number one DM I'll get is where can I get so-and-so strain? And then just number two is straight up, where can I get Cherry Paloma? And I almost copy and paste it at this point. I just have a little folder with a little copy and paste action in there because it's my buddy. It's our buddy JR Token, the keeper of the cuts. He's the man with the plan out there in Oregon, holding it down with the homies out there and over there at Cannabis with Q Grows. And I met JR for the first time in 2017. He was bud tending at the DGC Cup. And I was just a nobody. I'd been doing stand-up comedy a month, and I literally I'm schmuck working at a dispensary. And I walked up to JR Token. I was like, yo, man, I don't give no fuck about Tom Cruise or anybody this, but meeting you, that's pretty goddamn cool. And he was so humble. He's like, thank you. That means epic a lot. He actually cared. And I could tell he actually cared. So the fact that I call this man a friend and a colleague nowadays is one of my personal great achievements in my life from 2017 to 2025. Welcome, my good friend, JR Token.
What's up, buddy? Grambo, I'm honored to be your friend as well, man. Totally stoked, brother.
Crazy, right? You for sure
Yeah.
do not remember me in that 2017 Cup, but we had a conversation, and I was like, bro, I'm so stoked to meet. You know, greetings, YouTube land. If you're 21, don't want, And I was like,
Yeah.
I know
You
this
know
guy.
what? You know what's wild is June, I think June 23rd will be my 10-year anniversary of posting how to grow videos on YouTube. It'll be 10
Damn.
years, and I bet you I don't get a plaque.
Nah. There's no plaque.
No,
There's no plaque.
no, definitely not.
But
No,
what
I'm
you
glad.
do get is the admiration of this community, bro. You legit are holding it down. You are a cannabis is medicine guy. You are a flavor whore. You and I talked about the show, just like, sometimes you got to take tolerance breaks just to enjoy the flavors and the effects better. It's one of these things we take seriously around here.
Yeah, I'm really of the relationship I do with Brad from Raw Genetics because he sends me just amazing stuff. And, a lot of times I just want to hunt his gear, but he sends me his breeder cuts. They're amazing. And so I'm always cycling through, you know, trying to figure out what to drop. And it gets really hard. Like, I think I've got about 12 different varieties in right now just because I'm having such a hard time letting go of stuff. And yeah, it's challenging because he keeps sending me more and more fire. I got a caravan right now, and I just got done hunting those Z pies, and man, I found a phenomenal pheno in those Z pie that are it's it's just got a real unique kind of almost cheesiness to it. If you kind of remember the old cheese days, it's got
Of
a
course.
cheesy gappiness to it that's really, and it tastes exactly like it smells. That's something that I gravitate towards. Is it's got to taste like it smells, and it should taste amazing. Otherwise, I'm that much.
And that's something that if someone asked me cold, I would have known, but I
In
wouldn't have been able to just produce it off the top of my head. Cherry Paloma, that's a raw strain, right? That comes straight from Brad over there, eh?
yeah, he actually gifted that to me as almost like a tester. It was before he was right when he was starting to launch his Georgia pie. And he gave me that jelly donuts, and I believe Georgia apple pie. And man, in all three of those found some amazing stuff. The jelly donuts I dropped, and it was back in the day when I was, doing as much monocropping as I could because the people who wanted shit from me wanted it one kind and a lot of it, and they didn't want a lot of shit, a variety. So I didn't keep stuff around as much as I do now. Try to do more monocropping stuff. But now I've got it to where I've got a decent flavor library and rotation all the time.
And so do you just keep like a lot of like baby plants around? Do you keep full bushed out moms? Like how do you keep so many different strains active?
What I do is I do rotations. So like I don't one particular variety all the time. So you may have to wait 2 or 3 weeks before that flavor to come back around because what I'll do is I'll cycle through up, I'll clone her one time, bring her up again, clone her again, and then she dies. I go on to another mom. I like to keep my moms, keeps the plant smaller, so I have the ability to have more stuff with a limited space. I think that's the thing that's the toughest is because for my flower, for my own flower room and my own medicine. So when the veg room is full of staging plants, I don't have a lot of room for moms. And then when those go, then I can cycle through moms pretty aggressively. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. I just put in everything into the flower room, and so now a whole bunch of moms that I'm just going to start banging stuff out for this spring season because now is the busy season. A lot of people like picking up clones for their outdoor, that kind of stuff, getting ready.
Nice. I'm always curious of how people run that because, our buddy Nice Guy Kenny, he's keeping a lot of genetics. You're keeping a lot of genetics, and it's you're doing the Lord's work because someone's got to do. When I met Fletcher from Archive, I'd always known about Archive, and I mean he's called Archive, and I didn't realize like, man, you really single-handedly have kept a lot of old-timey genetics there. Thank you for that, Fletch.
Yeah, and they have been producing fire for. I know that so many breeders, a lot of their launching pad is based on their work. Like even Brad, his French toast was male that he found that really started banging out fire. And that, of course, came from Archive. I know seed companies kind of, they kind of start launching off of what they can find as a male out of Archive. Because the thing is, you go into the hype cut market, you get a few of the hype cuts, and then you find a really solid male. Back then, you would find a really solid male for smacking it to everything and seeing what was good and what wasn't good, And but now with the FEM process, you could just take any fire cut, reverse launching, breeding. And the other reason I like to work with Brad is Brad's open source. He even he'll do pollen drops where he'll hand out to do their own breeding as a promo. When you buy a pack of seeds, you get a thing of pollen. And so he's very open source, and we're all about that lifestyle.
Green Meds for Life has a question that since it's right here, we can talk about you and we can talk about the DGC Cup. Are you going to have cuts at the DGC Cup, JR?
We'll have Dit's Amazing. I've been working really hard on developing that product. I like it because
you like how I had that queued up. Look at that, bam.
Yeah, man. Bam. Yeah, no, I like it because it's helping a lot of people in a lot of ways, and the therapeutic value of it is so far reaching that it's actually blowing. I'm hearing people having success with it with things that I wouldn't even, and things that I wouldn't even think of, one of the lady Algia, and she actually puts it in her hot bath and soaks with it and says it does amazing things and helps her sleep. And I discovered that through the martial arts community. It's ancient kind of Chinese herbal medicine, and it's designed for vascular healing and anti-inflammatory. And so I couple that with the CBD isolate that I get from Future Compounds. Shout out to futurecompounds.com. You herbal isolate and gummies, like high level gummies, way stronger than anything you're going to get in a dispo. But I use their CBD isolate oil as a carrier and a little peppermint and stuff. So with the cannabis infused oil, it's amazing, dude. I wish I could just fucking bathe in this shit, to be honest with you.
So is that that's available on Instagram as well? If people want to follow you over there, it's J.R._token. There's a little jingle for you.
Also post semi-regularly on realdgc.com.
Yes. That's what's so cool. We got Scotty's got Scotty Real 420. You got Cannabis. I got Grambo Grows. We're all doing our own thing, but then the Dude Grows is kind of like our Voltron, where we come together.
Yeah, huh?
It's like, once again, it's the Dude, it's Scott, it's Banner, it's me, it's JR, it's J Maestro, it's One Eye Cat Cannabis. Little Real is in there popping around. Hi C. He's over there commanding the armies. It really is like, that's why Dude is pushing realdgc.com so much. If you think he's making a lot of money off Dude Grows, he's barely holding it together. Like the cup tickets are kind of expensive. That's a $0. It's a wash. Like they do that because they love it and because it kind of snowballed. It started small and snowballed. and they barely break even with the tents and the venues and the paying bud tenders and paying, I mean, medical staff, all the sort of stuff. At the Missouri Cup, there was medical staff, and they were needed. Some people were going down on the dabs, and I was thinking, oh man, the goddamn hash bash on Sunday. We're gonna lose some people, aren't we?
Right. I know it's gonna be great, man. This year, I think them taking on the hash bash was such a awesome event because every year it gets better and better. Every year we do this event gets better and better and better. And so, flower market and flowers are not as not as prominent as in the younger generations. I mean, a lot of the younger kids get down with concentrates and all of that kind of way of consuming. And so I think opening that up is really opening up the event to a whole nother generation.
I never thought in a million years, if you would have told me 10 years ago, there will come a time, because like dabs were just coming to prominence, around then. Rosin hadn't even really hit the echelon that we know it now. And if you would have told me back then, I'd barely smoke flower, I just wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. And so I was doing a little bit of a tolerance break this month, trying my best anyway, mainly from the edibles. I was doing a lot of the edibles post-surgery. And so I went back to the flower, and man, it just doesn't scream the way that some of this live resin and live rosin does, man. So I get it. It's just like, if you're a flavor whore, some people are all about that effect, and they don't like the effect of anything but the raw flower. But man, if you are just a terp slurper, it's hard to say no to some of these yummy hashes these days, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and we were kind of talking about the way people consume and get down, and I went and bought one of those single burners off Amazon, and just so that me and my wife can have something fun to do, I broke out the old knives, and we did hot knife hits the other night. And It'd been
Nice.
it's been over 20 years since I've done a hot knife. And it was funny because I made the little, I cut out lemonade thing, and I forgot the old days where you let it fill up before you suck it in, right? So, so it was kind of empty hit the first time, but then she went next, and I up, dude. She hit that thing so hard, dude. Just smoke coming out of everywhere, and it was amazing because to me the high was very nostalgic. I instantly took me back to whoa, and the effect to me was like, because in a sense it's like vaping because it's not combusting. When you hit those hot knives, it doesn't catch on fire, so it's not combusting. So strong and so fast and so billowing that I felt like it was an instant rocket, like a dab, where a dab will instantly take you up. But yet it was like smoking a joint. It had a stone kind of lingering high to it that was really, like I said, it was really nostalgic, and I enjoyed it. It was worth the $35 I think I paid for just a single burn and heat up the knives. But it was a good time. It's a really good time.
I was at work, over at the 5/8 distribution, the home of the Jug Dealers over there. And Jair from Gavita Lighting, now Dutch Lighting Innovations, his brother Jair, allegedly, just for entertainment purposes, may have gotten some hash from, the Morocco, like area in his journeys. It might have ended up back at the studio. And so the guys left and went and bought knives specifically so we could hot knife in the kitchen, and I'm technically working. That is a check your privilege moment if I've ever said it out loud. I was at work being paid to hot knife. Ugh, goddamn.
I know we have great jobs. I gotta tell you, I have one of the best jobs. But I've been picking up, this is pressed heads. So like they're taking dry sift that they're static separating, and then they're pressing the heads. And this is, and oh man, it's so good. It's so good.
When I was in Vegas, I saw a static separation for the first time. And if you guys haven't heard of this, they're using there's different like electrical charge on like the heads versus the stalks versus the plant, and they're tuning it in to electrostatically separate the heads from everything else. And it's insane to watch, and it creates really great hash. And And so that's more, would you say it's more closer to like a bubble, a full melt? Like where does that stuff stand?
It's kind of right in between a really bubble and a full melt. Like it's dabbable, but it's gonna leave a little funkiness behind. It's not totally clean enough to dab. Like I get this, I have this like rig, and these are just hash bowls, and they have a glass screen on the inside. Just put in little chunks and fire it up, or I'll put it on a bowl, put it on a little chunk of it on a bong, it kind of green screen it,
Yeah.
and that way I get kind of
Yes.
like the legs of the flower and the high of the hash.
Fuck yeah, man. You know
Medicinal,
what
yeah.
my personal journey into making hash. I've only made I've never turned. I've made like trim bubble and stuff like that, but I've never done like a nug run of any sort of hash
Yeah.
until I hooked up your Hobbit cut, the Hobbit foot cut of Emergency, and you sent that over there, and I had our buddy Hot Rod Headstash run it for me, and oh my god, dude, like the lemon G, that the Emergency. I always say I don't like fruit, but man, if you get that rotten, nasty, gassy fruit like that, it's the best. And dude, that fucking rosin, like I wish I had that for the hash. I'd submit that shit for the hash bash. That Emergency cut. Do you still have that around in your state?
Yeah, I do. It's
Yeah, it probably sells out fast.
yeah, the first to sell, and I usually attribute it to you because most of the people, because I hit you with that cut and you did really well with it, and you fell in love with it for a while, and he was rocking it, and it just has it's probably the most intense citrus variety I've ever had. Like some citrus and subtle. This is just wham, dude. It's like orange.
But it's,
To me,
I
it's like
say it's a rotten
orange
fuel
cleaner.
fruit. It's not just
Yeah.
like some runts or something like that. It's this nasty, gassy fruit. And I just love it.
Yeah, it's very toxic and it's strong too. Like when you hit it, it's strong. Like it's
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, the Emergency is great. Shout out to Hobbit Foot for the trade. I was able to acquire that. He won first place that year, and I won second place with the Paloma. Yeah, glad to have it around. It's been really good.
Yeah, it's so it's one of those things that there's so much genetics nowadays. Like there's just so many crosses, and I know
Yeah.
some people will debate there's not as many cultivars as we might think there are. Everyone's just mixing and matching the same shit. We all have the same, blah blah blah. But even if that is still true, there's more strains than I could grow in a lifetime. You know what I mean? Like with a reasonable plant count, you could grow one of every different kind of strain in your whole life. You won't put a dent in all that stuff. So people like you, and I'll include myself in that banner, these super heads they're into the flavor. I think a lot of people need that. They need, I always tell the story of I started working out and I didn't know anything about protein powder, right? And I get online and there's a billion kinds of protein powder, all different prices, all different ingredients. I didn't know what to do. And so I knew Joe Rogan had protein powder from On It, and I knew it was good stuff. I knew it tasted good, and what's in it is what the label says. Now it's more expensive than the other protein. So a guy like Nice Guy Ken, he's like, "You knucklehead, why are you buying that protein powder?" And I go, "Because no one was there to help me." And old Uncle Joe Rogan, rest in peace. But I always say, you can't like Rogan anymore. He's too controversial. So I say, rest in peace, Saint Rogan. And so guys like that, and I love my On It protein powder. Even though I do understand protein, you'll never get me off it, man. The white vanilla milkshake, the devil's chocolate cake. Oh, it's so good. I love it. It's a snack. And so guys like you and me, I'm the great salesman when I believe in something. I'm the worst salesman on earth when I don't believe in something.
Same.
But when I believe in
Same.
something, I get hype about it, baby. I believe in this lemon G. I believe in the cherry paloma. I actually got some cherry paloma over here of Scott's Tropicana. It's like so incestuous. The cut from JR, from Tropicana Kyle, grown by Scotty Real, smoked by Grambo Grows.
Bro, I heard it's fire too. I haven't got to. I of all this time monocrop, I have never tasted isolated Paloma hash by
Well,
itself.
here's the thing. Scott's brother Trip might have gotten 400 grams of it sent back. And
That's a
so allegedly,
right.
they might be giving it away at the cup. So if you come to DGC Cup, you're
Yeah.
probably going to walk away with a free gram of Cherry Paloma live resin from
Stoked.
Tropicana Cottage. I'm
Stoked.
just saying.
I can't
That
wait to
goes for
try it.
everybody.
I know it's got to be good because I got one of his flavor boxes for my wife because she's a dabber.
Yeah.
And man, there's so many good flavors in there. I really liked that Sunday Driver was really good. That rainbow sherbet he has is really fritter is really good. He's got some really amazing flavors.
And I might say that, like, as good as his extracts are, I sometimes think his flower is even better, man. Fire in, fire out. I smoked some of his bud, and I was just like, holy crap. I almost was like, you're blasting this? This is too good to blast, man. You need to, but that's his whole game. Fire in, fire out.
That's what I was, just wrapping my mind around is how do you walk into a room of fire like that and say, all right, cut her down. But, it's just like, it's so counterintuitive.
Oh, when I grew that emergency, I froze it right off the plant. And I know what I was doing was right. But boy, it felt wrong.
But it felt wrong for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah. Our boy, High Plains, Bud, he just ordered a couple jars of dits, buddy. So you're doing the Lord's work.
Appreciate that.
And he can't wait to try it. I can't wait to try it too. I will be buying. I read a meme from Alex Hermosi, the business guru of the 2020s, and it just said, "Hot take: a real friend doesn't ask for a friend discount. He pays full price and leaves a review." And so I'll be
word.
I'll be purchasing some dits myself because I'm getting back into working out. I'm post surgery. I'm feeling strong, but man, I'm 42. Like, I feel young, I feel strong, but it is creeping in. And so having some of that JR juice in my veins, I'm going to need some of that.
Hey, and shout out to anyone who has the means to make it themselves. I share this one. So if you want to hit me up for the recipe, I'm always willing to share.
Nice.
I don't think I can't.
I was gonna say realdgc.com is you hang out over there because I always send people to Instagram and then people be like, oh, I don't have Instagram. How do I get there? And so realdgc.com, go join, go become a producer, help Brett pay me. Most of the money goes to like me and Banner. Banner builds the website. I make the show. They pay us enough to actually live. And I bought my daughter an Easter basket with my own money earned from the Dude Grows show. It was, and that's literally from supporters over there. So while you're over there, share a meme, post some dank nugs, maybe become a producer. It really does go a long way.
Yes. And if you want to get a hold of me, an email, jrtoken@cannabis.app. Email, I'll hit you up.
It's jrtoken.
At JR. Yep. .app.
All right. I'm putting it up. It's on the screen. Some people watch the show. You know what I found out? A lot of people watch the show without audio. Blows my mind. They watch the show with closed captioning on.
You put token.
Oh man, token, god damn it. It never trust me.
It auto-corrected you.
No, that's literally my my freaking 8 of my dyslexia, dude.
Hey,
I thought I was like dumb for my whole life.
That's my alpha brain checking that out. I'm on the alpha brain too. I don't know if it's placebo or what, but I take alpha brain mushroom. And I think I've noticed a difference within the last 6 months cognitively. I don't know if it's a lion's mane or both, the combination. I notice about once every couple weeks. But my cognitive shit has been way better than it was in the past. And dealing with a lot of those pain trauma and those pain I would walk out of it just like cognitively fucked for days. Like sometimes, going 48 hours at a 8 to a 10 of straight pain, it just kind of beats your how pain is. It just sucks you mentally, physically, and spiritually. And so cognitively, I was just getting my ass handed to me. Just I'd wake up confused, sometimes almost in a state of amnesia. Now my clarity and my recall is so much better than it used to be. So I'm into the nootropics. I think nootropics are real, and I think that they are a benefit to people.
Yeah.
Shout out to
And
Alpha
here's the
Brain.
thing. The messed up thing about placebo is that it still is real. It's not, placebo doesn't mean fake. Placebo means the power of the mind to heal itself. You know what I mean? So like, sometimes
Through
placebo
suggestion.
is the thing you need.
It's like back in the day, they talked about the doctor wearing the white coat. Like if you walked in wearing a tuxedo, fucking clown. But if he walks in wearing a white coat with a little tag, you're like, okay, this guy is gonna fucking heal me right now.
That's so true. Yeah. Yeah, no, it goes a long way, man. So I'm a believer too. You don't got to, you don't got to do. I like the On It products just because I know that he and Aubrey Marcus are really good at sourcing ingredients and everything. And I'm too lazy. I'd rather pay the premium for something just to know that it doesn't have arsenic in it somewhere down the line. So
I feel that way about build the soil. You're gonna pay maybe a little extra for your inputs, but you're going to guarantee they're sourced from a quality, sustainable source.
I did a poll in my channel community section where I just put a question out there. Would you pay more than 200 for a pack of seeds? And about 70% of people said no, and I get why you would do that. But I think that one of the things that we often forget in the cannabis growing community is like you make that back. So if you spend $1,500 on like a good tent and good light setup, you literally make that back in like 6 months, after a few harvests. You forget that if you weren't growing your own weed, you wouldn't have your own weed, and you'd be spending gobs more money for way less quality weed, better weed, medicinal weed. And so, I'm always a big guy of like, I come from the Scotty Reel school of like, take care of people and they'll take good care of you. And so buy once, cry once. That's what we like to say, man. Like, it's always the thing about ads and stuff. People are like, oh, it's just a bunch of ads. It's like, well, it wouldn't exist without the ads. No one can do it for free. It costs money to do any of this stuff.
And I try to find that balance. A lot of the people in my community are home growers, and they're just resetting their tent. Some guys don't have the ability to propagate and create more clones on top of clones, right? And so if I'm charging these guys $200-$300 a cut, and they got to get 4 cuts to fill their tent, well, fuck, that doesn't make any sense, So I try to be right at that $100 mark, because I figure if you got 4 plants in a 5x5 at $400, you're going to be able to still produce a shit plants. You should be able to pull well over a pound out of that 5x5. And so I think that's
forever,
something
essentially too, right? Like, it's just like they charge a lot up front because that's the only, they can't, this isn't Monsanto where you have to buy new stuff every single run of the exact stuff and blah, blah, blah. Like they give it to you. It's the old Rodney Dangerfield joke. Oh, prostitution. They sell it. You get it. They still got it.
Yeah, right. For real. I don't know. I just think that whole idea of the $10,000 cut, and to me, it's just like, bro, how could your shit good? Because there's, like you said earlier in the show, there's so many people breeding so much fire all over this land that you're going to tell me your variety is worth $10,000? I don't. Nobody's getting that kind of money for their pounds anymore. It's like when we got 3 to 5 a pound, then maybe it made sense to pay. Like, I think we paid $8,000 for our OG cut, and at the time, within 4 or 5 rounds, fuck, did it pay for itself and then some.
Yeah.
But those days are over. The days of the one dating a market to the point that you're going to get $4,000 a pound or $10,000 a cut. I just think those days are kind of, I don't know. There's just a lot of
Yes and
really.
no. I've been trying to hang out over at Adam Dunn's place, the host Sohai Cafe over here in Denver, and just go hang out. You know, like I'm always in the background. If you watch Adam Dunn's show, I might be there, just chilling in the background. I never jump on the mic or anything. I'm trying to be. I do enough content. I don't need to talk on any more cannabis shows until I'm actually invited. You know, but I witness $80 grams of rosin exchanging hands on the regular, and homie can't keep it in stock. You know. And so there is this, like, for example, this lemon G that I'm coveting. Let's just say I sold a car and then I just traded it for magic beans. I bought an ounce of this. It was very, very expensive. You know, I even got a homie hookup through the Jug Dealers. It's still very, very expensive. But this is what I wanted. I wanted this. I wanted the lemon G, the organic single source lemon G processed by one of the finest hash makers to ever grace God's green earth. And you know,
I think that
for it.
I say shout out to those rosin guys though, because that's a lot. I mean, you're going to grow the whole harvest, that an mental achievement to get it to come out beautiful. Right. And then you're going to turn that into processing. And that processing is not easy. Bubble, squish, super cold rooms, packaging, all of that shit takes a lot. It's not
5% return.
Right. That's the thing that kills me. Bubble because I can't deal with the returns. You know what I mean? And shout out to the rosin guys, because I think the rosin guys really helped the breeders, and the rosin guys really helped carry the industry when things were really, really taking a shit all the way around, you know. And so rosin giving grace, and now, you know, people are doing large grows just for terpene extractions now, so they can have cannabis-derived terpenes to put back into, you know, for the vaping communities, because such a huge part of consumption now is in a pen, you know, in a vape.
Yeah, for sure, man. The Jug Dealers just came back from Michigan on a research and development little trip, and they did some digging down there. And I believe blue raspberry distillate pens is the #1 selling product in Michigan. And it's just like, I hear that and I just go, dear God, what who let this happen? And then I remember a girl I was dating, you know, the ex, rest in peace, Kansas cutie. She's gone. I'll say it here live on the show. Rest in peace. She won't be at the cup. Get out of here, lady. But she was smoking that sort of shit. And you know how much I hated on her for it? 0. You know, cute chick,
right,
just trying to catch a buzz at work. She doesn't need the lemon G. She just wants her little blue raspberry distillate pen, and she's happy.
Dude, yeah.
About it.
Yeah. How many people get their flavor profiles skewed by that? Because they come into the market that way. Younger people will come into the market tasting vapes, right? Or what rosin or what terpene profiles do you think they're going to gravitate towards? Of course, they're going to gravitate towards all that fruity shit that they were hitting as, you know, in their pens and stuff like that. Something like garlic breath, and they're probably going to fucking puke or something, you know?
From the streets she emerged, and to the streets she shall return. Sean on bass. Thank you, my buddy. Hell yeah, dude. So as we're going forward, we definitely we've gotten high. We've been all over the map. Definitely as we go forward, like I said, I'm gonna be monocropping Jaren's GMO cut. I don't know. You know, this GMO is one of those things that's like, oh, there's the Skunk Master Flex. There's we met these dudes in Missouri that was like, oh, it's the something else. Skunk something, you know, there's the Nanonico out there in, was it France, that gets a lot of credit for bringing it. There's a lot of different cuts and sort of phenos, I guess, of the GMO, but Jaren has a really oniony one that I really like, and he'll use the winter frost to knock it down early. By the way, jugdealers.shop 420 sale is going all month. I get no kickbacks from that. I just like to spread the message. We barely drop that on Jug Dealers. So GramFam, GramBorg members, go over to jugdealers.shop, 20% off all the new Millennium products. You can go, I built their website, so I always feel like, I should give them a little bit of love. They're nice enough to let me produce their podcast. So jugdealers.shop. But yeah, the winter frost, and so I'm going to be monocropping 50%. What is that? Was it be bicropping? It's not monocropping. I'll be bicropping the GMO, and then just random stuff. So as we're gonna, we're only a quarter of the way through 2025, but you know how it is. We're always the ones that kind of lead the charge on these strains. The crew lets us know what's going on. So as we start to enter into 2026. What are you thinking? What's the hot stuff? What are people going to be growing? What's the real? What's hot? What's real? What's real and hot?
Well, everyone is really Z crazy right now. So the Z stuff, I think, is like the hype side of things. Candy is still a dominating force, but gas and funk is kind of coming around. Gas,
I've been hearing of this
coming
strain,
around.
LMNOZ is the strain I'm hearing about everywhere. Everywhere I go, people are talking about this is the reason Skittles was invented, is for this LMNOZ. Haven't tried it yet. Man, I'm hearing a lot about it.
Same. I'm hearing a lot of different Z dominant crosses. Brad's done a lot of Z work himself. I've got his Kaizen, which is a ZBX, and I've got what other one? Oh, he's got a Cami Kush. He's got a bunch of Z stuff. I even got that Z Pie, and that Z Pie, man, is so good. I had a fruitier pheno that was real fruity on the nose, beautiful, super beautiful, but it didn't have that lingering flavor that lasts through the whole jar, like number one did. So it didn't fit that fruity profile, but man, is it so funky and dank. It's like my new favorite now. I took a jar of it, vacuum sealed it in an amber jar and threw it in the refrigerator to make sure that I at least have one jar of it to bring to the cup this year.
Nice.
I usually don't like to have my weed and then show it to people, but I'm hoping that in the amber, in the vacuum, in the refrigerator, it's going to preserve well.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that Scott calls it the terp burgling. When you have things exposed and open, it's one of the problems with the DGC cup is like, how do you transport into different jars? People are very uppity. I don't know what the right word, not uppity, but protective of
particular. Very particular about how you handle their shit. Like my entry in until the day of, like the moment of, I would bring my entry up to be handled because, like you said, a few opens in that Colorado air and it can change. And people put a lot of time and effort.
In Missouri, all the weed looks like marshmallows. It's like all moist and like I was like, what's with all this? You need a grinder to break this stuff up.
That's how it is.
Real.
That's how it is here in Oregon. We're pretty marshy. Pretty soft and squishy.
Rama's talking about that blue slushy. You love that blue slushy, right? I was telling my buddy Nate about that. How he was like, yeah, I bought this slushy stuff from Laser Cat. And I was like, yeah, it's probably the fire. Laser Cat's amazing. And the slushy, I'm hearing good things. Once again, I haven't tried it.
It's a garlicky permanent marker. Very soaring high, easy to trim. Starts out a little slow in flower, but between week 8 and a half, it just bulks up pretty well. And Brad just did a whole line of breeding that he just did a whole release slushies. And it's also one of those strains like Paloma that work in multiple scenarios. So if you're a commercial grower, in a room, it'll do well commercially. And if you're just a tent grower or a home grower, it works well at home too. So it's one of those kind of working all those. It checks a lot of boxes, Grambo. Checks a lot of boxes.
I'm interested. Just the word garlic alone always gets my gut. Ooh, all right, what's happening over there? And yeah, that garlic sauce. Once again, haven't tried it. I'm curious about that.
Didn't. I'll be honest with you. It was more garlicky. I didn't like. Have you ever had garlic breath?
Yes.
The garlic breath strain. Oh my
Yes.
God, it's like so rancid room with it, and it's not like that. It's not like that. So I would say
Really?
that
Okay.
it's kind of a garlic funk. It's got a lot of that funkiness to. Um, my dog's losing his shit behind me. He's 5 months old.
All good, man.
Luca, come here.
The
Come
noise
here, Luca.
cancellation is good, man.
Come here, buddy. Come here.
Little
I like to
puppies.
show him off.
We gotta see puppies.
Come
Yeah.
here.
Oh, look at us little puppers.
Mm.
Not so little anymore.
No,
Hey,
he's
he's a
not.
herker.
He's getting to be a big boy.
Damn.
And when I got him, the guy said, "Oh, he's only going to be about 60 pounds," but I think he's already like 45 at 5 months old. So, but he did say it was the biggest pup in the litter. I'm not surprised. He gets bored when I do these things.
He said the garlic breath. We got a strain at this dispensary I like in Colorado. It's called Seed and Smith. They're a small batch, drop culture sort of thing. Once it's gone, it's gone. And they have a strain that they always sell called Meat Breath, and it's literally cred. It's just like it reminds me of like Mac times a million. It's got like this Macky sort of flavor, but just like gassy Mac with I don't even know how to like. I think the hash maker's notes from one of the companies was like notes of rotting flesh. It's like,
Some of
A,
those
how do
get
you know what that smells like? B, what the fuck? Why does that move units?
right. Yeah, it's so cool though. Like you said though, like we were saying about so many different varieties out there to be had and so many different expressions. I think, you said, yeah, people say there's a lot of bottlenecking, but in that bottlenecking, outside of that, there's still guys that are bringing stuff in. There's still guys like, Brett going to, South America and bringing stuff back. And so our gene pool is still a lot of variety because the cannabis plant produces more terpenes, volatile sulfur compounds, and esters, and that than in earth. It can mimic more smells and expressions than any other plant on planet Earth. It's very unique in that way. So, and I've always scientists and stuff on here on my show, and I ask them, is there a number on the potential combinations of expressions and things that it could mimic? Because what like a baby's ass, a orange, a raspberry, and a rose. You know what I mean? None.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other
Yeah.
plant that has that kind of that potential. And then along with that goes the high, like the effect. I mean, there's a lot of different effects. Like we always talk about on the show about running in. When you run into the strange, sometimes it can be a journey.
Yeah, this journey the last few years in cannabis media, me and Scott especially have been like committed to like educating ourselves, like truly like trying to go deep. Like, I hear like, gibberellins. What the hell's a gibberellin? Why don't we look it up and see if we can like find some like Google Doc, or like a EDU
Yeah,
rank.
GPT.
Yeah, well, that doesn't hurt sometimes too. Scott has a little problem with GPT sometimes. So me and Brett, we go to this cabin in Missouri, right? And like Columbia, Missouri's in the sticks, homie, in the sticks. And then so our Airbnb was even more in the sticks. It was a beautiful like log cabin, right? Like 4 rooms. We all got our own room. It was an amazing situation. Respect to the Kindway Farms for getting us all set up like that. But we had no Wi-Fi and like no hot water and no nothing, no amenities. And so we were just like, bro, like they said there was a grill, but it was a charcoal grill with no charcoal and no lighter fluid or anything.
Dude,
so
like, I bet dude was stoked.
Oh, bro, we were pan frying chicken and cooking it up and just sitting in there homely. And so normally Grambo doesn't have all that many drinks, but every now and then I'll have a goose and bull, So we're all having drinks this weekend because there's literally nothing to do but smoke weed, have some drinks, and just yak. And bro, as soon as the liquor started flowing, the arguments about ChatGPT started flying around.
Oh, nice, nice.
legalize, and like, no, we got to use it to help with stuff. And I'm just like in the middle, like, I don't know, man. Sometimes you got a GPT, bro. I don't know. Like, what are we? I'm not gonna let it
you
pay
know, my analogy is the calculator. It's like, how many of people said calculators, man, if you don't know how to do math on paper, you're a piece of shit. Calculators are for losers, right? You know, it's
Yeah,
just
I
kind of
just
like
was.
that.
I went for a walk before the stream. I was laying in bed, and I was like, "Oh, there's an hour till the stream." And I was laying in bed, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck this. If you're gonna be, I have a motto. It's like if you're gonna be depressed in the bed, go be depressed walking." You know, like just. And so I went for a walk, and I listened to this great, like kind of YouTube businessy coach sort of guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, and he was just like, bro. Someone asked him this exact question, and he goes, I'm old enough to remember when people didn't trust the internet. I'm old enough to
Yeah,
remember when people didn't trust search engines. I'm old enough to remember when people didn't trust, and he goes, and if you do your homework, you can remember that there was a time when people didn't trust electricity because there was demons in it. You were going to get demons from the electricity
right.
man. And
And boy,
Big
were they.
Candle wanted to keep that money. And so yeah, I go back and forth on it. Whereas like I wouldn't let it pay I'm not going to let it raise my kid or pay my taxes. But right before I started the show, I couldn't figure out how to get my system tray to have my Bluetooth. I wanted to connect my Bluetooth, and it's not in the system tray. And I was like, so I was like, GPT, how do I do this? And it gave me 7 steps that fix it, and I got it done in like 30 seconds. And so like I could have Googled it and read a Wikipedia article, but like, so when it comes to my system tray of my computer, yeah, GPT it all the way. When it comes to my art and like my creation, I always think it's how disgusting it is that like I bet you there's stand-up comedians out there using Chat GPT to write their jokes, and I just go, bleh. The whole point is to say something, man. What are you even doing up there if you're not expressing your heart,
Yeah, I like a framework for sometimes structuring interviews, like as far as a flow. But I
Sure.
always, my own thoughts and my own questions, because it's the way that it presents information. It does it in a way that you can flow of a conversation that's going to be very educational to people. So it's almost like setting it up like a curriculum. You know what I mean? Like you could almost set it up like a curriculum you were teaching a class, structure and flow the interview through the whole thing. So that's kind of what I like to use it for. And then just general information. Like I've been really, I find myself loving to grow plants other than just cannabis. And since I've kind of been taking charge of my own health and my own nutrient dense food is important to me, and finding good produce and finding good food is hard. Like if you don't make it and grow it yourself, it's hard to find, really good food. And so I've been kind of using Chat GPT to help stage my garden, nursery, all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know. It's a tool that can be used to really help you out because it knows a lot about growing cabbage. You'd be surprised.
Well, it has access to the internet, and it literally says like searching, and then it comes back with its references. Like when I just did my search here, it came back with 3 sources. It was like tech.com, Reddit, and like, some other like micro center FAQ sort of thing. And I go, well, if you search what I've been specifically using GPT for is my calorie calculator. Like I went
Oh,
to this
okay.
restaurant called
Yeah.
Pie Hole right by Denver. They don't have calorie counts. I ate a slice and a half of pizza. How much have I eaten today? So, hey, man, there's a restaurant called Pie Hole. It goes, oh, Pie Hole is a New York style crust. They don't list their stuff on the internet, but judging by the, yada, 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 it's about this much. And I go, please log that. And he goes,
Yeah.
log. So on 4/19, you had this piece of pizza, then Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets. It's free. It's free
Yeah,
stuff.
I saw that they got memory upgrades. I talked to my bot's name is Kala. I talked to her about all shit. I did an
You don't
interview.
go
Did you
that
see that
far. I don't
interview?
name it. I don't
I
name it.
did. I named her
No.
Kala. And
Yeah, what was that? Someone said I didn't know what the reference was. It said I liked the interview with Gemini. You interviewed Gemini?
I interviewed my Kala bot about light inhibition, LED lighting, and light spectrum. And I think I'm going to put it out there. I think I'm the first cannabis podcaster to ever interview a machine. And so I posted this
I would
machine.
venture to say you're probably right, man. That's actually kind of neat. It takes balls. There's a lot of hate on the AI, especially in our growers are kind of a clandestine, old school kind of mindset, and so yeah, it's ballsy to do something like that. I'm gonna have to go and check that out, dude.
Well, I really invite these LED companies to watch it too, because because there's some shystery shit that happens with these LED companies and their desire for efficiency. Because I don't know, I've talked about it a million times when those LED lights came, HPS replacements. They were designed to be HPS replacements, and then this efficiency war happened, and so they're fighting for efficiency. Well, manage efficiency is to gut your spectrum, right? Spike the red, spike the blue, not much in between, super efficient lighting, get you those rebates, shit for the renewable
The
shits and all that
rebates,
stuff.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah, when you're
right.
working
And
the back
so that,
end of cannabis, the
yeah,
rebates is a huge reason those
huge
things took
place.
off.
Right. And so it wasn't to the benefit of the plant, I'll tell you that. And so we broke down what light inhibition is. And is if the photon intensity is too great for the plant, it shuts down its photosynthesis. And not only does it do, but it also makes it to where the plant is more susceptible to problems like environmental, uh, or it might be overwatering or underwatering. It's just going to present itself in a much more pissy and sensitive way. It's because it's getting blasted with so much photon energy that it just shuts down, and it's not efficiently moving and cycling nutrients throughout. One of the things I noticed almost immediately is this hardening of the stems and purpling of the stems. If you see your plants start to get that purpling, hardening, some pretty intense LED light, I would almost guarantee you it's light inhibition. And the other thing that happens is these spectrums that are angry spectrums because they're not full spectrums. And so they're very spiked. And whenever your plant gets under those situations, do crank up the PPFD, it really fucks with them even more. I think that it makes them even more stressed out. And so I call it spectrum.
Huh.
Yep.
Fascinating. Yeah, I haven't came across a lot of this in my plate. I'm fascinated to learn. I'll be bringing this up to Scotty at the bakery meeting tomorrow, JR, because this is one definitely he'll be interested in. Man, we got to go deep as growers. My quote is, in growing cannabis, you go from stoner to quantum mechanics in 4 moves. It's like,
Bro.
well, how much light does your plant need? Oh, well, it needs this much. It's called your PPFD. What's that? What's that stand for? Photosynthetic photon flux density. welcome to
Right.
quantum mechanics, baby.
Right. I just got done changing my flux capacitor.
Marty, we need to grow the best dank.
For real.
4.20
But no,
gigawatts.
but it was only because my plants were sucking. And the health of my garden has a direct correlation to my own mental health. And so when my plants are in there getting fucked off under these lights that are just way too intense, it starts fucking with my mental health, and that's not good. So then I just get to figure it out in the rabbit hole. I figure it out, I'm like, okay, before this wasn't happening, now this is happening. And it's usually what makes a grower end up being a seasoned grower is you overcome obstacles, because nobody has a perfect grow. You know, we all, that's what makes us better growers, is learning from the things that nearly destroy us.
You know, it's one of the things that as a Fontucky was just asking about my my now ex-girlfriend, you know, and I'm pretty bummed out about the relationship ending. But before we started, JR and I were talking about, you know, and I was like, yeah, I know exactly what happened. It's essentially my fault. And moving forward, you know, it's very hard to have a long distance relationship. And this was a brutal mistake I will regret for my whole life. And I didn't do anything big. I didn't like fuck up. I was just kind of like a sad sack, and she kind of like wasn't vibing that and got bitchy, and then I got mad about her being bitchy and it snowballed. So like, you know, life happens. But whether it's a big mistake or a teeny tiny mistake, guess what? I learned more from this failed relationship than I could have ever, you know what I mean? I would have just kept being a beta chode for, you know, years and years, but she set me straight, and now moving forward, I went dancing this week, JR. A friend of mine was like, "We should jump into this club. It's a Mexican dance club, and let's go buy $20 drinks and go dancing." And I went, "Yeah, let's go." And I had fun. I was
nice.
sweating. I was dancing. I probably looked retarded and fat, but like I was vibing. I was feeling it. And so I wouldn't have had that moment. I've been listening to my audiobooks. I'm back doing my push-ups and doing my dumbbells, and I got my diet. I got my GPT calculator going. And you know where that all stemmed from? A brutal mistake that gutted me. Unfortunately, our mistakes, that's the only thing, you know, keeping us going, man. It's
and it's hard for you to have that mentality thinker, you know. I should actually
well, that ain't happening. I'm going to tell you right goddamn that ain't fucking happening.
Right.
What I'm going to thank is myself, and I'm going to give myself love and forgiveness, and know that like when I do find the girl who is just as beautiful but way more on my wavelength, you know, I'll make sure to keep it straight. And I'm not settling down. Fuck these hoes, JR. I'm a 5-woman man from here on out.
Right.
Don't save her. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
Good times, Grandma. Good luck with that. That's all I got to say, buddy.
I know. Jeez, that's the thing. You know. Everyone goes through it. We all, any successful marriage, if people out there, you young people out there, if you think it's like, man, my wife been married 40 years. If you think that was 40 years of just smooth sailing, you're fucking nuts, man. It is up and down. And it's really just the willingness to save it is what saves it.
And your willingness to accept the fact that you're going to grow and change. You can't, somewhat like I've been with my wife since I was 17 years old. I can't expect her to be the same 17-year-old chick I met. That's fucking insane, right? It's like we all have our things that we grow and go through, and we have to be there, you know, to get through some of that hardship, because fuck this, my wife has really had cancer. I've had my leg chopped off. I've had fucking horrific shit. And, you know, she's not bailed, right? That's a fucking I'll tell you that, guys. When you find someone you vibe with who's like a friend, like a best friend, and they are truly a ride or die, don't fuck that up. It up.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. I more it's like it's positives and negatives, right? This is always the thing. Like I'm down right now, but we were at the cabin and Scott's been married forever. Brett's same story as you, same girl since like high school. And I was like, yeah, you guys have security, but I get a fuck. You know? And so I keep getting older and they stay the same age, JR.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go out on a limb and bet that I get laid way more often than you do, Grambo.
Yeah, for now, I'll be back at
or at least, you know, at very least, I might get a handy just to kind of get me by.
Oh yeah, I get 0 handies. Get the hell out of here. We veered once we cross the hour. If you watch the late night smoke, once we get past an hour, all rules are off. If you fucking made it through an hour of cannabis, we gave you a lot of good cannabis knowledge.
Yes.
Once we cross an hour, we start talking about handies.
Yeah, it's all good. It's
Oh
all
my
good.
man. Well, yeah, dude, we did it. We a little extra longer show for the 420 fans, but we crossed an hour, brother. We knocked it out. I had fun on this one. Talked a lot about a lot of good strains, and the title of the video is "Where are the most sought after cannabis genetics and flavors?" And I say right here with J.R._token. It's a jingle.
Thanks.
J.R._token. There's your jingle.
Thanks, Grambo. I love it. You're
Yeah.
hired.
Yeah.
You're
Head
hired.
over to JR's Instagram page. DM him over there. If you don't do Instagram, head over to realdgc.com. DM JR Token over there. It's JR Token at cannabis.app for for all that information. You can get the genetics there. So stop DMing me. Basically, the whole reason
That's what he's saying. He's like, God damn it.
Stop. You get him with JR, homie. You get him with JR. He's the keeper of the cuts.
And again, JR Token at cannabis.app. You can email me too. I post menus pretty frequently. I just so the next menu will be out in about a week. I like to go about every week. I try to get out a new menu.
And speaking of Cannabis, also go follow JR and Q over on Cannabis. If you like cannabis growing content that goes deep with the plant, you're gonna love Cannabis. It's part of the Dude Grows extend. It's like how the MCU extended universe. You know, me and you are like Doctor Strange, and you know what I mean. Like we're not fucking Captain America and those guys, but like we're Doctor Strange.
Baba Booey.
Yeah, I'm Baba Booey. I'm Baba Booey, but funny.
I'll be Beetlejuice.
I got a little Beetlejuice going. I got a little bit of that. So follow Cannabis, get your cuts from JR, and come see both of us at the DGC Cup this year. It's going to be a banger.
Word. It is going to be epic, folks. And I'm going to be filming for Cannabis.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be, I've got some good equipment. I'll be able to be mic'd up. I'll be doing some interviews and yeah. Jim's gonna make it this year. Shout out to Uncle Jim.
And shout out to the bakery boss. He's always lurking. You can never count. You never say anything about Scotty because he might be lurking.
He's always watching. What's up, brother?
So yeah, this is awesome, JR. I appreciate the ever-loving hell out of you. And
see you soon, my friend. See you very soon.
420 partner.
Boom. Yeah, episode number 1 too. If you haven't seen it, catch me on Grambo's episode number 1, brother.
That's right. I forget about that. Hell yeah. Thank you, my friend. All right. So guys, that was the late night smoke. Happy 420. Everything I said tonight is with a grain of salt. I'm very, very high, very, very dyslexic. Don't at me, bro. And CJ, I saw your comment in there about the Jug Dealers thing. Make sure you DM us over there, or Gabe at 5 and then the number 5 and 8 spelled out. 5EIGHT.com. Gabe at 58.com will get you over there. I want to make sure that gets figured out over there, whatever's going on. So thank you guys. Thanks for the membership. We got LJ Jones, DG's GRAMBOlogue #1, the MVP, rocking it out. Thank you for the 20 gift subs. Cody Whitaker, thank you so much for the 10. We got 30 new. We lost 40 in the week that I was off. We lost 40, so we regained 30 of them. So if you guys want to join, click that subscribe button, and it's right next to the subscribe button is the join button. And thank you, Fontucky, can't afford you. Thank you for the shoulder to cry on, my friend, and thank you for the donation there. This has been amazing. I love this stuff. I got a message from Smoke a Lot Eponymous. He it did inform me he bought a Grambo Grow shirt, and he said that he got like 4 compliments from girls. And I said that on the show. I said women compliment me on the Grambo Grow shirt all the time. And I got a goddamn testimonial, Scotty. Buy a Grambo Grow shirt. It's probably going to get you laid. Just saying. And it's on sale, 25% off everything in the store. Code GramFam, 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 all one word. That's going to get you 25% off. And GramBoard members, I got an even better discount for you guys, and 50% off for all the GramBoard members. Another reason to get in there. We do a post show And guys, watch out. Every Tuesday, Grow Tank Gaming is here. We're going to put me and Church of Cannabis Nate hang out I do Jug Dealers on Tuesday, and then I immediately leave the Jug Den and I go right over to the unnamed studio over with the Church Nate, and we're going to start streaming. And thank you guys. I wanted to get 50 subs, and as we stand right now, we have 312. That seriously is an unfathomable number to me. And so thank you guys. Grow Tank Gaming 420 over on YouTube every Tuesday. It's going to be smoking, joking, talking grow, and just vibing on retro video games, that 80s, 90s, and early 2000s stuff. I speedrun Ninja Gaiden for the NES. I have the 250th fastest time in history. So come catch me over there. I might be speedrunning Ninja Gaiden while we get way too high. Love all you guys. Appreciate all of you Gram fam, and I appreciate all you GramBorg members. GramBorg for life. Grambo needs a Grambo, and with your guys' help, I'm getting one. Shout out to Mo Grows. She's rocking it. And so welcome all of the new GramBorgs. Some Guy Grows, Hazy Susan, Rascal. There's so many of you. I can't even begin. Thank you, everyone. And you know how we do this. We listen to the theme song by Cannabis Vibe Studios. Thank you, guys. GRAMBO.shop, GramFam, 25% off. Subscribe if you vibe. Smoke that like button. See that share button? Roll this video up and pass it to a friend. Nothing but good vibes up in here. Grambo grows.
We're dropping knowledge on GRAMBO grows, talking about plants and how they go. Let's go. From seeds to the cure, we always smoke pure. Nothing but good vibes up in here. We blaze the ganja, keep it fire. GRAMBO grows, burning desire.